So in this video, I just want to make a simple HTML page, and while doing so, I'll introduce you to a whole bunch of new HTML tags. So first one is just a header, h1, and in here, I'm going to say, what is the universe? I'm going to change the title to the universe. Okay, so this is h1. It means it's a header. Let's actually look at it. So it's a header. So you notice that it's a lot bigger than the text that you saw in the last video, which was just small little text. So the h1 means that it's the biggest header, or the most important header on your page. There's multiple levels of headers. There's actually 6. So there's an h2, and there's h3, all the way to h6. So there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1. h2 should be the second most important. h3 should be the third, so on and so forth. Okay, so we got an h1. Now let's do a p tag. So p tag is for paragraph. So I got some text here to my clipboard, and it's text about the universe. Okay, let's actually just look at it, see. All right, there it is. Great. And next I want to show you the a tag. The a tag is really important. It's basically a link. So you could link to anywhere else on the internet, or also anywhere else on your website. So I'm going to use the atom wrapping tag to select anything you want to make a link. Hold down Shift and Alt and press W, and that wraps whatever you had highlighted in a tag. It defaults to a p tag, but you can just change it to an a tag. And the a tag requires an href attribute. So the href is basically where you want to go on the internet. So you could tell us to go to google.com, and when you click that, it'll take you to Google. Let's see. Okay, I see what I did wrong there. I should say www.google.com. I was expecting it to be on my computer. Let's see this. Actually, I messed up. It should be https:// and then www.google.com. Okay, now let's try. So click universe, and it takes you to google.com. And you notice that it changed the page that I was on. So if you want to make it open the link in a new tab, you could use the target attribute on the a tag. So you set target to _blank. I'm not really sure why there's an underscore, but that's just the way it is. Let's see now. Okay, cool. And I actually don't want it to go to Google. I want to go to Universe Wikipedia. So I want it to go here. So just copy that link and set that as the href. And we can close that now, and then the link will take us there. Cool. Next, let's do a br tag. This is just like a space. It'll just you'll see what it does, because it's hard to see what it does right now because there's nothing else after this paragraph, but you'll see that in just a bit. So let's do h2, the pillars of creation. And usually you wouldn't want to use a break tag just for the space, because see, if we take out the break tag, just comment it out, you'll see the h1 will go up a little bit. But usually you would want to use CSS for that, but I'm not going to cover CSS in this video. I'll do that in the next video. So for now, just use the break tag. Okay, and now let's do an image. So let's go to the internet and pillars of creation. Go to images. Take this one, and you can right click it and go to open image in a new tab, and then take the source and put that in here. And you use the alt tag too to describe what your image is. It's good for users with screen readers. It could read, You could read to them what the image is if they can't see it. It's also good for SEO. So you should always use the alt tag when you use images. And yeah, let's look at this. I think it's going to be huge. No, it's actually a pretty decent size. But you could change the height of the image with the height attribute on the image. So you can set it to 400. And this will keep the image, like the proportions of the image will be good. It's not going to stretch it. If you change the width to, whoops, you can get some stretching. Let's see. Yeah, it just changes everything. But if you just change one, the other one will change automatically to keep the same proportions. Okay, we're almost done here. Put another p tag. And again, I got some text here, just describing what the pillars of creation is. And finally, let's finish off the video with a button tag. So a button tag is kind of special because it's not just text. It can actually, it's sort of like part of user interface. People can click on buttons and do things. So this button will say read more. And the type of button and name of button, just keep that for this, the same right now. They're not really completely required for visually seeing the button. The button will still work without it, but you should just keep that there. And you can click on it. And right now the button doesn't do anything. So another thing that you could do is you could set the disabled attribute. And disabled is a Boolean attribute. And what that means is that unlike other attributes where you have to set a value in quotes, for disabled you just put it there. You don't have to put anything else with it. Because it's a Boolean attribute, it could only be one or the other. Unlike height, if you look at height, you can set the height to anything. There'd be like an infinite amount of values for height. You can set it to 1, 2, 3, 4, 100, 1,000, whatever you want. Disabled is either disabled or it's not. So if you don't want it to be disabled, you don't put the disabled attribute. But if you do want it to be disabled, you just put disabled there. So you don't have to give it any values, just like that, it's good enough. And now this button will be faded out. It'll be unclickable. Okay, so that's going to be it for this one.